Folks, good morning and good afternoon, wherever you may be. So a little while ago, I had the sort of slight chance, I call it chance. I was on Twitter and one of the record label PR lovely ladies reached out and said, "Hey, is there anyone on here that's doing reviews? You know, either YouTube or written or whatever have you. And if you're out there, can you send me a DM?" And I thought to myself, fuck it. What have I got to lose? So I sent Faye, who goes by the Twitter handle Death Metal Mum, and I reached out and I chatted a little bit, and I said, I do all my reviews on YouTube. I'm not a typer. Okay. My spelling is good, but sometimes my thoughts get jumbled really quickly. And if you've watched my YouTube channel for more than 5 minutes, you fucking know I jumble like a fool. And she's like, "Hey, would you like to review this new EP?" I was like, yeah. Obviously, that's reviewing records to me is fun. I don't do it for clicks or whatever. I don't do it for this big thing. I just love reviewing records that I really enjoy. If it's a bad record, I'm probably not going to review it, or I'm going to review it and it's not going to be nice. So I got the email and I started to listen to it, and yeah, this EP that comes out in 3 days on October the 13th by the band Overthrow, who was formed in 2011 as a thrash band in London, and they eventually grew into more of a black and death metal band, basically as one does in this day and age. Because, you can stay with the same sort of feel. You can stay in the genre that you started at, but then eventually you're going to be like, well, I like all this other stuff, so let's move into that sort of thing, but keep the same sort of feel as we once were. These guys are a two-piece, which kind of baffled me at first because I don't see a lot of two-piece bands that really do a lot of great things. This has got Jay White on the guitars and the vocals, Scott Lindsay on the drums, and they do have live musicians, one being Grant McCallum on the guitars, and Jamie Scoogle is their bassist when they play live shows. And again, they mostly stay as a two-piece. So, Jay and Scott, as far as I'm concerned, and yes, this is an EP, so most guys are like, well, I won't really review an EP. It's like, you have to hear this. This is the unfortunate thought process with some people. It's just an EP, I need more. Yeah, fucking review it because this is perfect. Without a doubt, this is a fucking masterpiece in this year of masterpieces, as it clearly seems. 2023 is the year of death metal. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Holy shit. Now, this EP is entitled Ascension of the Entombed, being released, as I said, Friday, October the 13th on Redefining Darkness Records. There's really not a whole lot that Redefining Darkness puts out that is even remotely fucking meh. Everything that I've been listening to lately has been fucking perfect. And I mean, obviously, prior releases outside of this. So the 4 tracks are including the title track, which is, again, Ascension of the Entombed, Lords of Xibalba, Ruptured Nebula, and Caustic Vengeance. Caustic Vengeance and the title track are 2 of the singles that were released a couple of months ago. And Caustic was released last month, according to the YouTube channel. Well, let's get into this. So you're probably going to see me look off the camera because, I can't do anything without notes because, I just can't. I'm just terrible at it. This EP, without a doubt, is going to immediately have you doing 2 things. Ferociously headbanging. Mind you, I can't, because if I start headbanging, I get a fucking headache. And my brain just goes weird. And thinking riffs. Because they're all over the fucking place. Especially that title track. As soon as you hear that fucking opening riff to Ascension of Entombed, if you're not banging your head and going, oh, and if you automatically don't go right to stink face, I'm sorry, but you have no right listening to metal. Sorry. Just fucking sorry. That riff is amazing. Now, here's the thing. Because they are a black and death metal band, there's a lot of, like, there's loads of the death metal groove, and the speed is there, and there's also different sort of note choices in there that screams death metal. Obviously, the attack is there, as I said, the groove. Jay has his growls, but Jay's also got a really good, actually not a really good, a fucking amazing fry vocal when he gets into sort of those black metal overtones. The thing about the black metal side of this, you get that sort of tremolo picking where it's just like really fucking fast and it's like sort of chords, and there's not like, because black metal is very fucking straight and to the point. There's not a whole lot of extras except for the atmosphere and depending on the band. These guys have the atmosphere, they have the fucking attack with the fucking tremolo picking, and Jay's vocals are probably some of the best blackened death metal vocals I think I've heard in a while. And again, I've listened to some fucking amazing records because I've already done reviews on this. When the death metal side kicks in, and it mixes so perfectly with the fucking black metal stuff, it's really like, okay, is it like sort of, is it more death metal or is it black metal? It's really a solid mix of the two with the thrash. Ruptured Nebula and Lords of Zibaba are where you can hear that more. That's where you can hear more of the black metal influence in. Especially in the guitar, because you get a lot, again, that fucking tremolo picking. It's like, that sounded really horrible, but if I can excuse that part, you guys know what I'm talking about. Come on. So, like, that's the outside of all of that, the songwriting here is some of the best that I have heard from more of the underground bands. Again, I've listened to Model Crater by The Bleeding, and I've listened to the Death Collector record. Both of those are death metal fucking superstar fucking records, along with the Celestial Sanctuary. The thing with this record, though, what Jay and Scott can do on a record is some of the finest, and I mean the finest, of black and death metal. And the thing is like this. Here's what I took away from this EP. All right, to really delve into what they sound like and who I myself would compare them to band wise: Cataclysm, Immortal, Sodom, and Slayer. And the Slayer part is the fucking, the fucking sort of D beat kind of thing. The sort of the Slayer beat that they had. That sort of, you guys know what I'm fucking talking about. And of course, when you smash all four of those bands together, you get Overthrow. Blackened death thrash that fucking smashes in your skull. Okay? There's just no other way to discuss it. That's essentially what it is. And of course, I pick Immortal because Immortal's pretty much the fucking one band that I know the most. And there's probably a bit of Emperor in there too. Oh, excuse me. Now, let's move down a little bit. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Because everybody who watches my fucking channel, I have at length spoken about how black metal as a singular genre doesn't do anything for me. It does nothing. Like, I don't normally get it. I understand it. I know exactly what they're going for, and a lot of the bands do it really well. When you take and you incorporate thrash metal and death metal in there, like Overthrow have on this EP, to me, it is far more palpable to my ears and to what I think. This is, it's filthy, it's disgusting, it's atmospheric, it's fucking violent at moments and times, but it's fucking beautiful as well. I cannot thank Faye any more than I already have to her on Twitter, on Instagram, yada, 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 for giving me the opportunity to listen to this EP back when she sent it to me and give it a review. Again, when I'm on YouTube, I don't do a whole lot. I don't reach out to interview people. I interviewed one guy and it was a friend of mine, and I wanted to test to see how it went. Again, this for me, this is fun. Okay, this is fun. I've noticed my subscribers are gone up. I'm almost at 400, and that's cool. It's great, and I appreciate it. I mean, I also have the podcast that I do once in a blue moon or once a month, usually from spring to fall. Getting this opportunity means more to me than people really understand, because it's working with someone who's in PR and works for a major label. Well, not really a major label, but works for a label. And to me, again, this will go down as probably one of my most favorite things I've had happen to me over the last several years. Not gonna lie. So thank you very much, Faye. I very much appreciate this. And I've got another review in November, and probably after this, I'm going to have to start my playlist to deal with all the fucking albums that have been released, and then, yeah. I'm just doing a list this year I'm not doing an album of the year, forget that. This is not happening. I'm just going to do a list of the best records. Anyways, verdict time. This motherfucker, when this comes out on Friday, October 13th, you have to pick it up. It gets an absolute 4.5 out of 5. This thing kicks fucking ass. Overthrow, just as a quick head fucking thought, we need more of this. And we need more of this, like, fucking next week. Can you do next week? Oh, maybe not. All right. How about in a few months? All right. I'm trying not to push my luck here, but that EP fucking kills. See yous.